How's it going? Long time no see. First camping trip of the fall here, and I don't know how many more I'm going to get in. Maybe one. But we're back at the Geneva Wilderness area, walking our way in here. The main trail around the lake here is apparently flooded out, so we're having to go around a bunch of roads on the backside of it. But it's a part I haven't seen before, so it's cool. But I'll get back to you when we get to camp unless I see anything interesting, and thanks for joining us. All right, well, we made it back here. Brought a lot of stuff. Plenty of firewood, all this wood down from the hurricane, plus we've got some that they've stacked up here, so I don't think we'll be firewood poor for the night. We've got our little side here with the fire ring. I don't know if these benches are movable. It's probably going to be cold tonight, so we'll probably try to move that closer to the fire if we can. That's about it. There's some bathrooms we passed on the way in. It says don't drink the water. I mean, I've got filters and we can boil, so I think we'd be okay unless there's viruses in it or something. I need to get me one of the Grail filters. It's lived on my Christmas list for a couple of years and nobody seems to think I need it, but it's okay. Yeah, cool little site back here. We'll get set up here in a little bit. Right now we're just kind of relaxing. Wasn't that bad of a trip. There's a little bit where we had to walk through some water and got our feet wet, you know. No big deal, except for the fact it is going to get cooler tonight. Well, if you've been with the channel for a long time, you might recognize this. This thing hadn't been drug out in, oh gosh, 3 or 4 years. I literally paid $40 for this at BJ's Wholesale, and we camped out of it for years. I didn't have a proper tent for 2 of us. My little green one that I use all the time is big enough for me, but it's not really big enough for 2 people. 2 people a lot smaller than me, maybe. So we drug it out. The last couple of years we used it, it did leak a couple times. I think it had a little bit of water blowing under the front of it too, and a little bit around the door. But probably the best 40 bucks I ever spent on anything camping wise. It ain't fancy, but it's sure brought us a lot of enjoyment over the years. All right, we're going to cheat and use the fire starter here because why not? We have them. So hopefully that right there will get our fire going. And we have some steaks and beans to cook. And some instant mashed potatoes to heat some water up for us. Well, I love my REI pad, but it's just too big to carry out here. So for tonight, we've got a climate pad. And for me, a couple of blankets, that one and my wool blanket. And it's supposed to dip down to 43, so hopefully that's good enough. If not, I'll be sleeping by the fire over there. Well, the sign says caution, do not drink the water, but the water's empty, so I think we're going to use the shower water here and just filter it. Should be okay. Coming out of a well, it's got a ton of iron in it, as you can see, which is something we've run into before out here too, but I'm going to let it run for a minute and just see if we can get it as clear as possible before I filter it. It's about 45 degrees right now, about 6 o'clock in the morning. About the worst night of sleep I've had. Just nothing wanted to cooperate. Got several layers of clothes on and the wool blanket, but I just could not get warm. And teenager's still in there. She's got an actual sleeping bag, and and my blanket now, and I think she's doing okay. I told her if not, come on out here. But I'll tell you what, sometimes it makes all the difference in the world to build your fire up before you go to bed. That way you've got some coals and don't have to struggle, and then have some wood laid by for in the morning. Everybody thinks it has to be like Alaska or something for you to get too cold and get yourself in trouble. But 45, 43 degrees, that'll do it just fine. Right now I got this thing too hot. I got to get up and move, but I'm thankful for it. Man, for a guy who couldn't get warm all night, that sun sure looks nice. Here's another one of these little pieces of kit that hadn't made an appearance in a long time. It's great because it nests on an Algene bottle, but I've just gotten too fancy for it, I guess. But when you drag out the backpack, it definitely works perfectly. Well, that's about it. Just walking back out of here. All right, well, we made it back to the truck. Thanks again for watching.